Hold on! Wait a second. Robin, what is that?
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today we've got a wild lineup of clips ranging from confirmed UAP and UFO sightings to never-before-seen footage of cryptids that will blow your mind. Ready? Well, let's dive right in. Meet Omar Odavi. In this footage, we see him sitting calmly by the seashore, surrounded by sharks and stingrays. It's quite a risky scenario at first glance, and if it's your first time seeing any clip of his, you're probably wondering what's going on. Well, if you didn't already know, he's what many like to call the animal magnet. Scientists aren't exactly sure, but there's something about him that draws different kinds of animals to him. Some have suggested that it could be something in his blood that draws animals near, specifically an unusually high mercury content. This composition seems to have an undeniable effect, especially around marine life, who reportedly swim toward him when he's near the ocean. Others are choosing to call it a superpower, but, well, that sounds like a bit of a stretch. Rather than giving him control over animals, it appears more like an unintentional invitation, as though signaling nearby creatures to gather, possibly for a meal. Still, it's a strange and intriguing phenomenon. Is this a power you would love to have? Let us know in the comments section. Over the many episodes we've had on this channel, we've featured many levitating and glitching objects such as brooms, cars, and even birds. For the first time, however, we've got a levitating person. Now, we're not told where this was taken, but the individual insists it's real and refuses to share any more information, fearing the government might pick him up. I'm not sure if his concerns are legit or not, but many in the paranormal groups we belong to are intrigued by the footage and believe it's authentic. Some also think we may be dealing with doctored footage. Julius, our in-house scientist, on the other hand, believes the individual intentionally uploaded a clip that didn't paint the full picture. He thinks there's a parachute or harness the individual might be floating from. You've seen the clip yourself. What do you think we are dealing with? Speaking of glitching and unusual floating objects, take a look at this one. Tell me you see the strange thing in the sky. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but if you pay attention to the audio coming from the clip, you can hear people screaming, with the police puzzled and trying to make out what it is they're dealing with. Once the clip made it to our paranormal platforms, the majority of those who saw it believed we're dealing with some sort of UFO or extraterrestrial life form. Looking at it, there's not much to dispute this fact, unless, of course, the footage was doctored, but who would do that? Anyway, Aaron, our in-house expert on all things paranormal and extraterrestrial, thinks this is real. I don't need to tell you guys what Julius thinks, but you can tell me what you think in the comments section.
Ariel!
Nope, not alien. This scary creature actually belongs to our planet, and they're not as scarce as you think. Meet the lampreys. For those unfamiliar with them, lampreys are the jawless eel-like fish that are among the oldest vertebrates with a lineage that dates back over 360 million years. They're characterized by this cartilaginous skeleton, smooth, scaleless body, and a distinct, toothed, funnel-like sucking mouth. Lampreys are parasitic in their adult stage, using their sucker-like mouths to latch onto other fish and feed on their blood and bodily fluids. Found in freshwater and marine environments, some species migrate between the two for reproduction. Their parasitic behavior has made them notorious as invasive species in ecosystems. Unfortunately for the US, they're spreading in our waters today. Disturbing, huh? There's something I want to ask. Would you eat a fish that's been sucked in by these things? Let us know in the comments section.
Yo no sé si logras ver lo que yo veo. Mira el reflejo. No hay reflejo. Es la silla. Es mi trípode. No hay reflejo. Literal.
What do you think this is? If you're tempted to think it's CGI or some sort of filter or effect, the individual who uploaded this insists that it's not. Instead, she states that it appeared in a room out of nowhere and she didn't know what to do with it. She doesn't tell us if it disappeared on its own or if it's still there, but she does ask us for answers. Some members of the team think it might be portal-related, whereas others think it might be a sign that there's an angel in the room. Personally, I don't think I have an interpretation for it, but do you?
Yo no sé si logras ver lo que yo veo. Mira el reflejo. No hay reflejo. Es la silla. Es mi trípode. No hay reflejo. Literal.
A man in Tennessee was out one evening when he spotted something strange up in the sky. It was this bluish glow pulsating across the clouds. Initially, he thought it was the start of a storm, but as he kept watching, he noticed something unusual. This was not a typical storm. The glow seemed to outline the shape of a saucer, blinking in and out of visibility almost as if it were phasing in and out. The edges of this craft would pulse with light, then disappear momentarily only to reappear seconds later. Could this be an aircraft with advanced cloaking technology or possibly even a UFO? It's hard to say for sure, but the footage is mesmerizing and leaves a lot of room for imagination. What do you think? We came across this clip online. The individual who uploaded it was startled when he walked into his bathroom and saw this. A part of him wanted to run, but he wanted evidence to show there was something weird going on in his bathroom. When he first uploaded, some individuals thought this was evidence that there were aliens living in his plumbing. Some also thought it was odd, but there had to be a logical explanation. Once this got to my desk, it became apparent that there was indeed a more practical explanation for it. I'm no science whiz, but even I know that this is a snake. Now, when I say snake, I'm not referring to the kind you're familiar with. No, I'm referring to the plumbing kind. Now, for those unfamiliar with it, a drain snake, also known as a plumbing snake or drain auger, is a tool used to clear clogs in pipes and drains. It consists of a long, flexible metal cable with a coiled end designed to break up blockages or latch onto debris within plumbing systems. They come in various sizes and shapes, from simple manual models for minor clogs to motorized versions for tough blockages and larger pipes. They are a more precise alternative to chemical drain cleaners, as they physically remove obstructions without risking damage to pipes. They're commonly used by homeowners and professional plumbers to restore water flow and prevent costly repairs. In this case, I'm pretty sure there was a plumber working and the one filming didn't fully grasp the situation. Either way, I wonder how he'd feel if his plumber saw this clip online and corrected him, unless of course he's the plumber and he's pulling out legs. Now, this next one is one I have no words for. Let's take a look at it together. It was supposed to be a football game like any other until lightning decided to pay a visit. Just in case you didn't realize it, the reason those players fell is because lightning struck the field. Not everybody went down. Those who were warming up and running by the pitch didn't go down. Those walking slowly did, and as expected, the officials and spectators panicked. This is something no one who went there that day was expecting. Now, the big question is, why did lightning strike during the game, and how come not everyone was affected? Do you have answers, or should we consider this the wrath of God? Kindly share your thoughts in the comments section. It's been a while, but it's time for our bonus segment. For all those new to it, this is the part of the video where I show you a scene, object, or creature, and you try to identify it. The best answer gets a shout out in the next episode. With that out of the way, let's take a look at today's mystery clip.
Oh my god, wow. Wow. That is hilarious.
It's got like a...
Can you identify the creature in this clip? If you can, kindly let us know its name in the comments section, and do well to add a unique fact. We will highlight the best answer with the highest likes to send a shout out to. All the best.
Oh my god, wow.
Wow.
That is hilarious.
It's got like a...
While our geniuses make the notes, I've got a disturbing and, quite frankly, bizarre clip to show you. Take a look. No, that's not a crab. I know the coloration may make you think that, but no, that's a tarantula. Just in case you were wondering what happened, it's basically become a zombie. While I know some of you might think I'm joking, the concept of zombies isn't entirely new to the world. There's a parasitic fungus capable of causing that, and tarantulas are part of its long list of victims. Cordyceps, which is infamous for its ability to manipulate its hosts, infected this spider by infiltrating its body and eventually taking over its nervous system. As it grows, Cordyceps directs the tarantula to a location favorable for fungal reproduction. Once there, the fungus kills its hosts, consuming the internal tissues and erupting through the exoskeleton to release spores into the environment, spreading the infection. While Cordyceps primarily targets insects, some species specialize in spiders, making this a fascinating yet gruesome example of nature's parasitic relationships. The good news is humans aren't on its list of victims, but with the way everything is evolving of late, you have to wonder how long it will take till we eventually make that list. There are plenty of unique Guinness World Records out there, each with its own fascinating backstory. But Diane Armstrong's story stands out. Known as the woman with the world's longest nails, her decision to grow them has an emotional twist. Diane lost a daughter over 2 decades ago, and in her grief, she decided to let her nails grow in honor of a memory. Now her nails are as thick as fingers and nearly as tall as she is. It's a physical tribute she carries with her every day. This record is more than just a number, it's a way for Diane to remember and feel connected to her daughter. Although this accomplishment has brought her recognition, it also raises questions about her day-to-day life. How does she manage daily routines with such lengthy nails? And importantly, is this a healthy way to cope with grief?
these two things, and I'm spitting into this.
Yeah, so that's a little tube that I get to spit into, I guess.
Now imagine you go to the doctor to get yourself checked, and when you walk in there, the nurses ask you if there was a complication. You explain to them that you're actually there to get treatment to repair the ulnar collateral ligament in the elbow. They tell you that the procedure was just completed and wanted to know if you had any discomfort. You're confused and try to explain it's your first time there. They ask you if you're Brady Fiegel, and you confirm, and they tell you that you've been treated. This puzzles you and them because they think that you're joking. After a little back and forth, you realize there's been another person in the clinic who looks just like you and has the same injury and booked to see the same doctor on the same day as you. Well, you'd be shocked, right? It definitely has to be a glitch in the Matrix, right? Well, this was the reality of two men named Bradley Fiegel. Both men are 6'4", red-haired, and wear glasses. Naturally, this was too much of a coincidence and DNA tests were taken. The funny thing is, the test results showed they were not related in any way. Despite looking alike, one Brady Fiegel, aged 33, is a left-handed pitcher who made his MLB debut with the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2024 after a long and unconventional journey through the minor leagues and independent baseball teams. He persevered through challenges like injuries and the pandemic to finally achieve his major league dream. The other Brady Fiegel, 27, is a right-handed pitcher currently in the Las Vegas Aviators organization. Interestingly, they even underwent the same elbow surgery by the same doctor years apart. Despite their uncanny resemblance and the DNA test confirming they're not biologically related, they consider themselves brothers in a way due to their shared experiences. Many who heard this story felt it was definitely a glitch in the Matrix. I mean, there's just too many coincidences. You've heard the story yourself. What do you also think?
Our Brady Fiegels find that they're not brothers or even related. So what we seem to have is a very bizarre coincidence of two total strangers who look alike, happen to share the same name and occupation. What are the odds?
We're still brothers in a way, I guess, you know.
And we're always going to be Brady Fiegel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A home security camera caught something bizarre while everyone was out. In the footage, the room seems calm, nothing unusual, until suddenly a bright, lush flash fills the screen. Then, as if on cue, the TV flicks on. For a moment, everything is brightly lit before the flash fades, the TV powers off, and the room returns to normal. When you examine the footage closely, the flash has an eerie shape, a faint outline resembling a woman. Could this be an entity manifesting through the home's electrical devices, or perhaps a residual energy trying to make itself known? Let's see your thoughts in the comments section. If you hate centipedes, it's time to click away. If you're still here, then enjoy. Someone has this giant centipede crawling on his arm. It's a 15-inch Amazonian centipede. For those unfamiliar, the Amazonian giant centipede, or Scolopendra gigantea, is not your average bug. It's a formidable predator known for its size and aggressive hunting style. Growing up to 12 to 15 inches long, this centipede is the largest in the world, with a body covered in tough segmented armor and legs that seem to ripple with every movement. Its appearance is both mesmerizing and terrifying. A mix of dark, glossy shades of red and brown with antennae that twitch as it senses its surroundings. Each of its many legs is tipped with a tiny, sharp claw, and its two front legs have been modified into powerful pincers, capable of delivering a venomous bite. This venom is potent and strong enough to take down small mammals, birds, and even bats in the wild. Yet, here it is, crawling across a human arm as if it were nothing more than a curious house pet. Humans. I'm not sure I would ever understand how strange we really are. And just like that, we're back at staring at the skies. Do you see what our interest is? Beyond the light show, pay attention to the clouds and you might just see it. Seeing it now? It looks like there's some sort of spaceship in the sky. After a few seconds of flashing, it shows up vividly. It really does look like some sort of saucer, and it's got us thinking, is this the real deal? Can we really say we've seen a spaceship now? Also, if it's indeed a spaceship, what is it doing to the weather and why that location? Care to share your thoughts? If Aaron were to run into this during the night, you can expect him to record it and send us the footage, telling us how he almost died trying to get us the footage. But look at this. While they may look scary at night, those antlers actually belong to a friendly face. I know what you're thinking. Oh, why paint those antlers at all? Well, the answer is a simple one. This image was taken in Finland, where about 4,000 reindeer lose their lives every year due to car accidents. One major reason is they're not visible on the roads during the night. To fix this, they decide to paint the antlers with reflective paint so drivers can see them at night. Cool, huh?
What is that over there?
What is it?
I don't know. Over there.
Where? Oh my God! Hold on!
What is that?
Wait a second. Robin, what is that? Robin, what are you doing? Oh my God, it's running! Dude! No way, what was that?
In this footage, two hunters had a startling encounter in the woods. While out near a river, they spotted a massive figure on the other side, just at the edge of the woods. This creature, estimated to be around 8 feet tall, was standing on two legs and staring directly at them. Clearly alarmed, one of the hunters fires a shot, causing the creature to bulge back into the cover of the trees. Even though the footage is shaky and blurry, you can make out that the figure is bear-sized but distinctly bipedal, unlike any bear. The hunter's reactions, especially their shocked tones, make the encounter seem all the more intense and real. Could this really be a Bigfoot sighting?
Robin, what are you doing? Oh my God, it's running! Dude! No way, what was that?
These fish that are swimming around her are they're cousins to the freshwater piranha. They're saltwater piranhas. They're called Trailcam fish.
Now, I'm no marine biologist, but if what this guy is saying is true, then this lady puts herself in a lot of danger. According to him, the fishes that are swimming around this lady can be considered the saltwater cousins of the freshwater piranhas. According to him, if any of them had taken a nip, or if she had an open wound and they caught a whiff of it, they would have swarmed her and made a meal out of her. Now, when I heard this, I was fascinated and proceeded to share it with the rest of the team, but once I mentioned it to Julius, he just laughed. I'm not exactly sure why he laughed, but can anyone help us identify these fish and confirm the story?
She got so lucky because if just one of them, would have taken a bite out of her, or if she had a scab that peeled off or anything and they sensed it and they took a bite, they would have swarmed her like a pack of bees and eaten all of her flesh off until she was just bone.
Still on things that need confirmation, take a look at this clip. Not sure if you've noticed, but there's a sphere in the shot. The man who uploaded it states that it showed up in his room one day and he didn't know what it was. After a lot of thinking and deliberating, he came to the conclusion that this had to be alien. Looking at it, it definitely does look the part, but is the footage authentic? That's a different conversation altogether, but let me know what you guys think. We've had a lot of UFO videos over the past few months, and I must say that this one takes the trump card amongst them all. The scene introduces us to a UFO flying into a mountainside. Once it's there, another flies out, and we get to see that there are a lot more there. I mean, if there were these many ships in one place, then they would definitely draw attention to themselves. You could argue that that's how this clip was taken, but even Aaron is suspicious of the clip and believes it was digitally created. What's your take? And no, I didn't go to Julius on this one. Now, I'm no fan of spiders, but I'm pretty sure that even spider fans would be creeped out by this one. The individual who posted this insists it's a camel spider, and since I'm no expert, we're gonna go with it. From my research, it turns out that the camel spiders, also known as solifugi, are arachnids commonly found in desert regions around the world, particularly in the Middle East, Africa, and parts of the Americas. Despite their name, they're neither spiders nor scorpions, but belong to their own distinct order within Arachnida. Camel spiders are notable for their impressive speed, capable of reaching up to 10 miles per hour, and their large, intimidating appearance with body sizes reaching up to 6 inches, including their legs. Through urban legends often exaggerated their size, venom, and behavior, camel spiders are not venomous and pose no significant threat to humans. They use their powerful jaws, or caliculae, to capture and consume prey like insects, small lizards, and rodents. Camel spiders are nocturnal and highly adapted to desert environments, using their speed and predatory skills to survive. If you're curious about any myths or specific aspects of their behavior, let me know. Perhaps we could invite Julius to take over this one. We all know there has been a funny year for everything alien and paranormal, but especially for UFOs and UAPs, with the USA's subtle hint that they might actually exist. The clip playing out on your screen was shared a few weeks ago and quickly went viral. At first, many individuals didn't know what to make of it, but with time and additional footage and evidence, many have come to suspect that we're actually dealing with something extraterrestrial. This was further confirmed when it was allegedly confirmed during a U.S. congressional hearing that there may be UAPs in our oceans. The fishermen who captured this mystery were pressured and scared into silence. After connecting all the dots, I think it should be obvious why they were, don't you think? Now, we've shared creepy images from cameras given at kids over the years, but it's hard to even tell them apart. Take this one, for instance.
She just took a picture and she says, "Mommy, look, there's a man in the photo." I said, "What?" She said, "There's a man in my photo." And I went like that real quick. Like, this just happened, just like 5 minutes ago. Like, no one else is here. It's just us. Like, I'm going to have to change the date and time so I can get more pictures for y'all. But look at that.
A mother gave her child a camera to play with, and it was all rainbows and colors until her daughter told her that she'd captured a man in the photo. Now, you have to understand that they didn't have anyone with them, so this rubbed the mom off the wrong way. She took the camera to check, and sure enough, there was something, or should I say someone, in there. They weren't there with anyone, so not only was this perplexing, it was freaky and scary as well. She posted this online seeking answers and sharing her experience. If you ask me, what she should have done was leave that place, but then again, perhaps I'm just overreacting. What would you have done?
She just took a picture and she says, "Mommy, look, there's a man in the photo." I said, "What?" She said, "There's a man in my photo." And I went like that real quick. Like, this just happened just like 5 minutes ago.
I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister.
The 2024 US election results have definitely triggered some wild reactions, especially among those on the left. People are expressing frustration in ways that seem at times over the top. They're screaming in the streets, dramatic gestures like shaving their heads, and even making vows to swear off men altogether. It does feel extreme, almost like a collective wave of emotion release or protest. It's fascinating how elections bring out intense emotions and sometimes push people toward dramatic statements or actions. These responses, while passionate, might seem exaggerated to some, almost like a ritual or movement in its own right. Emotions run high during times of change, and sometimes reactions can seem surreal. But in a way, it's all part of the very human process, the need to feel seen, heard, and understood. But what do you make of this?
The next 4 years, I am going to abstain from schmex with men.
And just like that, we're back to the recently held U.S. congressional hearing.
Langley is the home of the 1st Fighter Wing, which maintains half of the F-22s in the U.S. Air Force inventory. Reports of this incident indicate these drones were roughly 20 feet long, flying more than 100 miles an hour at an altitude of over 3,000 feet. Yet the origin of these drones and their operators remains a mystery.
What I didn't mention earlier was that when unidentified aerial phenomenon UAPs were brought up, there was a focus on one particularly notable footage captured at Langley Air Force Base. At first, many dismissed this footage as fake, but it has now been allegedly confirmed as a real UAP encounter. The craft in question was around 20 feet long and flying at approximately 100 miles per hour, which is not the behavior of any known drone or conventional aircraft. The fact that these sightings are now being acknowledged at such a high level, with officials openly discussing them, marks a significant shift. It's no longer easy to dismiss these sightings as CGI effects or mere speculation. The unidentified crafts continue to evade explanation, and as the security focus intensifies, it raises questions about what they could be and why they are here.
Whether these phenomena are the result of foreign adversaries developing advanced technologies or something else entirely, we must take them seriously, investigate them thoroughly, and assess their implications on national defense.
While concerns grow about alien crafts potentially visiting Earth, there's another pressing topic to consider: AI and robotics. This conversation is always hotly debated. On one hand, these advanced machines are designed to make our lives easier. On the other, they're rapidly evolving to be smarter, more autonomous. For example, take a look at Boston Dynamics' Advanced Atlas robot. This AI-powered machine can operate independently, sorting objects on a shelves without any human supervision. It's incredibly impressive, but let's not forget that robots like Atlas are becoming increasingly human-like in both behavior and adaptability. With each breakthrough, the line between human intelligence and artificial intelligence continues to blur. Are we ready for what's to come?
For some reason, the toilet started crying.
A woman was in a public restroom when she noticed a strange sound coming from one of the toilet stalls. She decided to record the noise, capturing an eerie, almost mechanical groaning sound coming from the toilet itself. The noise seemed to echo and was unlike any typical plumbing sounds you'd expect. What could be causing this mysterious sound? Could it be a plumbing issue, or is there something more unusual happening here?
For some reason, the toilet started crying.
Back in 1990, footage was captured in England showing a series of strange-looking crafts circling a specific area in the sky. The crafts moved in a synchronized pattern, forming a sort of arc over the land below. The observer reported seeing them hover in a particular formation, making a circular or arc-like motion that seemed purposeful and coordinated. This unusual sighting has led some to wonder about the nature of these crafts and their intent. Could they have been mapping the land, or were they attempting some kind of formation for an unknown purpose? Looks pretty, doesn't it? As pretty as that looks, you would want to avoid direct contact with it, as it may be the last thing you do. I wanted to explain the scientific phenomena responsible for this, but ended up changing my mind. Julius insisted I did this as trivia so you guys could guess. So, does anyone have an answer? This footage, supposedly captured in the woods, reveals a strange humanoid creature unlike anything we've seen. It has long black hair, a tail, and webbed feet, adding an eerie, almost aquatic twist to its already unsettling appearance. As it moves, the creature pauses for a moment, as if sensing it's being watched before it slinks away behind a tree, keeping quiet to avoid drawing its attention. Honestly, the whole scene seems almost too perfect, like it was crafted by AI or some advanced CGI work. The creature's movements and proportions are so unusual. What are your thoughts?
Here we go. Nothing. There we go again. Nothing.
A man living alone heard a knocking sound at his front door. He went to check, but no one was there. Just as he turned away, the knocking started again, this time from inside, coming from his bedroom door. When he opened it, he found no one there, but he heard loud breathing from under the bed. He held his phone underneath to check, and for a brief second caught a glimpse of two glowing eyes staring back. Freaked out, he left the room and went to another, only to find two chairs stacked oddly, one on top of the other. As the day went on, the knocking continued, leading him toward the staircase, but once again, nothing and no one was there. Seems like this house might truly be haunted. Would you dare to investigate further?
And there's nothing. Oh, what the hell is that? Yeah. Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. It's getting ridiculous now.
Have you ever felt like you weren't alone in the woods? One man in the UK discovered more than he anticipated while walking through the Stansted Forest. The video footage he captured is spine-tingling. As he strolled through the forest, he noticed something unusual in the air surrounding him. As he proceeded further into the eerie woods, he encountered ghostly apparitions of an old woman, a child, and other unidentifiable spirits floating in the air. According to local law, these apparitions are the ghosts of an elderly couple who tragically died when they mistakenly walked onto a nearby railway track. Ever since then, they've been haunting the forest and anyone who dares to explore it. This is a chilling reminder that the past can occasionally return to haunt us in the most unexpected ways. Camping can be fun and interesting, and it introduces you to lots of many experiences you never thought possible. Some are attracted to camping because they've never experienced the outdoors before, while others love it for the adrenaline and thrill it offers. However, when families go camping, it's usually intended as a fun bonding exercise. But what happens when this fun activity, which is supposed to help the family bond and relax, becomes one that introduces them to danger they did not even know existed? The family you see in this footage was exposed to danger while camping, and they didn't even realize it. If you watch the video carefully, you'll notice a creature swiftly moving past the young boy. If you didn't see it, watch it again. Did you see it? If you've been following today's videos, then you would have already learned by now that in low-light conditions, objects can look weirder in the camera than they actually are. But this doesn't look like one such case. The family had the footage analyzed by experts who concluded that no stimuli were present in the environment that could have created the image of the creature running past their little boy. Whatever it was the real deal, and that left the family spooked. There was indeed a spirit present with them, and they were unaware. What if it had killed or hurt them? What if it had followed them home? I guess time will tell. Next, we have footage taken by a couple of teenagers who went out one night to have a good time. If you've been following the trend on this page, you'll know that it's definitely not how it played out, and you'd be right for thinking so. Once they got to their location, they were met with a surprise. They encountered an enigmatic figure dressed in a peculiar attire strolling through the park. They couldn't discern what it was, but they remembered that there had been a mysterious death in the park. The corpse was found with no foul play. Looking at the being before them, they didn't need to be told that it was a paranormal being. They actually started suspecting that the being before them could have been responsible for the death of the man earlier. They posted the video online and it immediately went viral. The residents of the area had actually been complaining of a strange and eerie presence in the park, and this confirmed their fears and suspicions. They believed that it was the entity responsible. But what do you think? Speaking of being in the wrong place, these unfortunate campers unknowingly chose a sinister spot in the depths of the woods, an experience that would haunt them for life. As the camera holder bolts out of the tent, the boy captured in the frame follows suit, both in a state of sheer panic. It appears that they were frightened by something. As they keep running, the camera holder looks back at the tent, and there, standing in front of the tent, is a creature on all fours. That doesn't look like a wolf or a coyote. The creature had human features, but it was very skinny. This reminds me of a skinwalker. These are mythical humanoid creatures that can shapeshift into any animal and are known to eat humans. These boys are lucky they fled on time, and by the look of their reaction, I think this is the last camping trip of their lives. I bet you thought that was a mouse, right? I mean, that would have been my first guess, but for its unusual movements and, well, its very unusual face. Typically, creatures its size have two eyes, but this guy seems to have one huge one. What's more, its hands or paws, wait, can we call it that? Well, never mind. Back to what I was saying, its paws are cat-like, if I'm right. These features combined give you a very strange creature. Think of it as a cat-human-rat hybrid. That's the best I can come up with. What do you guys think? Is this thing really real, or is someone out there just messing with us? While taking a walk along the road during sundown, someone came across a glowing orb floating just a little above the ground. It hovered there for a while before slowly starting to fly away. Glowing orbs like this have been spotted all over the world, yet their true nature remains a mystery. Some people believe these orbs are related to alien activity, suggesting they might be probes or even manifestations of extraterrestrial presence. Others think they're natural light phenomena, such as ball lighting or swamp gas, which can produce similar visual effects under certain conditions. Skeptics, on the other hand, argue that many of these sightings are hoaxes created through clever use of technology or optical illusions. You can see the clip, and if you've been on this channel since day 0, you have seen us feature a lot of clips involving them as well. What do you personally think of them? The person who shared this footage is convinced she captured a glimpse of a fairy. While out in the woods, immersed in nature, she noticed something unusual fluttering nearby. Despite struggling with her camera, she managed to capture the fleeting creature on film. The footage is quite blurry, making it difficult to discern the exact features of the insect. However, you can see a small, delicate creature darting through the air before landing gracefully on the grass. Its wings are particularly striking, resembling butterflies but with an enigmatic quality that sets them apart. The scene has an ethereal quality, leaving room for the imagination to wander. While it might simply be an extraordinary insect with an otherworldly appearance, the blurry footage invites speculation. Could this be a real fairy, or is it just an insect? This man set up a camera outside an abandoned house in the middle of the forest. He had just positioned it in front of the house as he was about to enter when he noticed something on top of the building. There was a pale creature crouched on all fours with a pair of glowing eyes. The creature looked eerily like the Rake, a notorious cryptid known for its unsettling appearance and predatory behavior. Its skin was almost translucent, giving it a ghostly, otherworldly look in the dim light. The creature's glowing eyes seemed to pierce through the darkness, adding to the menacing aura it exuded. The creature had a gaunt, almost skeletal frame, its head turned slowly, tracking the man's movements with an unnerving precision. The eyes never blinked, maintaining an unbroken stare that felt almost sentient. In a moment of panic, the man packed up and left. Do you think that was a Rake? Quick question. If an alligator was hot in your heels and there was a fence in front of you, would you climb it to escape? After all, alligators can't climb, right? Well, that's what I used to think until I saw this clip. Yup, that's an alligator captured on camera climbing over a metal barrier. Although it took some time and effort, the alligator eventually made its way over the fence and plopped onto the ground on the other side, continuing its journey toward the nearby water. Before you come into the comments section and scream paid actor, please note that this actor was not paid for this gig. Alligators can be dangerous creatures even though they might look adorable from a distance. This remarkable display of agility reminds us that alligators are not to be underestimated. They can overcome obstacles we might not expect them to. Next time you see one, keep your distance. Who knows what more tricks they've got under their sleeves. There are many unusual jobs in the world, and you might be surprised at how dangerous and deadly some of them can be. Yet, people still risk their lives daily to perform these tasks. One such job is jellyfish harvesting. This occupation is primarily seen in Asia, where jellyfish are considered a delicacy. The process of harvesting jellyfish, however, is incredibly risky. Take a look at this man standing precariously on a small wooden ladder placed across a boat's edge. With a rake in hand, he scoops jellyfish from the ocean and places them into the boat, which is often filled to the brim with these stinging creatures. Should the man fall into the boat or the ocean, he risks severe jellyfish stings, which can be extremely painful and potentially life-threatening. Despite the dangers, these harvesters continue their work. While this may be dangerous, I have a hard time deciding if it's more dangerous than being a volcanologist. And yes, that's a real thing too. It has to do with scientists who venture near erupting volcanoes to conduct research and carry out various tests. The inherent dangers of being close to an active volcano range from lava flows to toxic gases are significant. Imagine missing your step and coming into contact with extremely hot lava that's actually capable of melting your flesh on contact. Scary, huh? Nevertheless, volcanologists brave these risks to study and understand volcanic activity. Looking at these two jobs, which would you prefer? Yeah, I wish I could tell you I know what that is, but I don't. I've seen weird things, but this is definitely top 5. It looks like the living face of a cow or a bull with limbs that are capable of moving it. I know my description doesn't make sense, but this creature doesn't either. I wanted to say AI, but typically AI clips have portions of the clips that glitch or are inconsistent for no reason. This particular one doesn't have that meaning. It's real, or at least I suspect it is, but what do you guys think? This footage, captured in the sky at an unknown location, shows a strange object moving rapidly and rotating as it speeds through the air. Its erratic movements and high speed make it difficult to identify as any convenient aircraft or drone. The way it twists and turns seems to defy typical flight patterns. Is this UFO related, or could it be something more mundane? Could it be a cutting-edge piece of technology, an experimental aircraft, or perhaps something out of this world? Share your thoughts. Still on the subject of aliens, there's been a lot of footage of suspected UFOs circulating online. Some have been proven to be genuine, while others are more likely to be convincing fabrications. Recently, someone shared a video that has caught significant attention. Although the exact location is unknown, the footage shows the ocean with a nearby island. Out of this island emerges a fleet of disc-shaped crafts, a scene that looks straight out of a sci-fi movie. The crafts ascend into the sky and fly off at a mesmerizing and mysterious spectacle. However, the lack of context around the footage has left many viewers skeptical. While some are captivated and inclined to believe this could be real evidence of extraterrestrial activity, a significant portion of the audience is less convinced. The video's quality and the seemingly perfect execution of the craft's movements have led many to suspect it might be a cleverly edited piece of work. That said, it's important to recognize that skepticism towards this particular footage doesn't necessarily debunk the possibility of actual UFOs. Unfortunately, in a digital age where anyone can create realistic visual effects, it can be challenging to differentiate between genuine sightings and those crafted for attention. What do you think? Could this footage be a glimpse of extraterrestrial activity, or is it another example of impressive video editing? Kids have always been described as having an active imagination, and given the kinds of things they say sometimes, I don't dispute it. But what if sometimes the things they say have nothing to do with imagination? What if they can see things we can't?
¿Quién le estás dando? ¿Eh? ¿Qué hay ahí? ¿Quién está? No sé quién está, amor. Acá. No estoy viendo a nadie, hija.
A mother found herself in the same situation when her toddler started to point at a wall. It seems she was saying that there was something or someone there, but the mother could not see anything, and neither can we in the video. This goes on for a while, and the child looks upset by whatever is there. At the end of the video, the child holds her chest and lets out this small cry, almost as if this invisible thing has done something to her.
Chao, decile. ¿Se fue? Ok. ¿Qué? Ay, Dios mío. Me voy a descomponer. ¿Qué pasó, amor?
The mother, after seeing this, was concerned, leading to the upload. A commenter shared that children who were not baptized see things, as her cousin saw her dead grandmother. But we do not know if this child was baptized or if the child is even Catholic, because not all religions baptize children. What do you think of the whole thing, though? A girl named Valeria shared an eerie video online.
There's someone outside my room. Wait. Hey. Hey. Hey.
She was alone at home, and while she was in a room with the door slightly ajar, she heard a female voice calling out to her saying, "Hey." What made it even more unsettling was that the voice sounded exactly like hers. Panicked, she quickly shut the door and the video ended abruptly. As soon as people saw the footage, many were convinced that Valeria was being haunted by a creature known as a mimic. These creatures, as the name suggests, are believed to lure their victims by calling out to them using their voices, creating a terrifyingly familiar sound to entice them. However, not everyone is convinced. Skeptics argue that the voice could have been a trick of acoustics or perhaps even a neighbor's voice carried through the walls. Others suggest that the footage might be staged, possibly with Valeria using a recording of her voice to create the eerie effect. What do you think?
Hey. Hey.
Next, we have a haunting and chilling story that has surfaced from a hospital in the Philippines. A man, completely alone in his hospital room, filmed his surroundings to show that no one else was there. But when he aimed the camera under his bed, he saw a pair of legs on the other side. Terrified, he immediately stood up to check, but found no one there. This eerie footage was submitted to a radio station, sparking widespread speculation. Many believed the legs belonged to a ghost, the spirit of someone who couldn't pay their medical bills. The theory is that even after death, the ghost remains trapped in the hospital because of their unpaid debt. What do you think? Could this be a real haunting, or is there a logical explanation behind the mysterious legs? The Statue of Liberty has been under scrutiny for a lot of things. Some even theorize that there was a secret facility in there, or that it was a place where people were mass murdered, and so much more.
Les gens se demandant pourquoi le piédestal est tellement plus grand que le dame. Tout ce que je le dis, c'est
These theories are nothing new and have been there for a long time. The man who allegedly built the statue said that the US authorities requested that the pedestal on which the statue stood be made very large, but for what reasons he didn't know. After the statue was built, it was said that people who lived by it, which was mostly immigrants, complained of a foul smell coming from the area where the statue was situated. A woman who was interviewed said that it smelled like rotten flesh in a slaughterhouse. She said at night she would see people being lined up and led to the statue by officials.
Ellie Island era orribile. L'intero posto puzzava di carne, come un mattatoio. C'erano anche uccelli morti ovunque e mia sorella ne trovò persino uno nel gabinetto. Se già la costa è così, diceva mio padre, immaginate quanto puzzeranno le città. Ricordo di aver sentito altre famiglie dire quasi scherzosamente che volessero tornare a Milano per via dell'odore. La mia famiglia aveva spruzzato profumo e acceso candele per tenere lontano il fetore, ma funzionava solo per un'ora o giù di lì, finché l'aria diventava di nuovo insopportabile. Le serate erano così calde, rimasi per lo più sveglia, anche se il resto della mia famiglia dormiva profondamente. Ricordo che guardavo fuori dalla finestra ogni notte e vedevo file di persone che venivano condotte alla Statua della Libertà dai funzionari. Se solo fossero saliti sul piedistallo, i funzionari se ne sarebbero andati e non sarebbe successo nient'altro. La mattina seguente però ci sarebbe stato un odore peggiore, come un mattatoio.
Naturally, people started believing things, including the fact that there was some sort of creature in there that was being fed humans. This led to the infamous emergence of the 1889 Liberty Lurker interviews, but later it was all written off as a fake. Now scratch everything I've just said and take a look at this comment. Yes, this scenario I just described is supposed to be a hypothetical and not so real story, or is it? What are your thoughts on it? A subscriber sent in this rather intriguing footage. In the video, a machine is seen pulling something out of what appears to be a sewer or a tank filled with murky substances. The details are scant, but according to the sender, they pulled out a monster, specifically a demon. Upon closer inspection, it seems more likely that the figure being pulled out is a person covered in a thick, unidentifiable substance. The footage doesn't provide enough clarity to definitely say whether it's a monster or a person, but the latter seems more plausible given the context. What do you think, though? Take a look at this incredible phenomenon. Mushrooms that transform into birds. It's truly astonishing to watch. One moment you're looking at a cluster of ordinary mushrooms, and in the blink of an eye, they undergo a breathtaking transformation into birds. Just imagine the marvel of witnessing such a change in real time. The transformation is so fluid and convincing that it almost feels like magic. The mushrooms begin to shift and morph, their textures and colors blending seamlessly into the form of birds. It's as if nature itself is performing a spellbinding dance of creation. Now, while this might look like something straight out of a fantasy film, well, of course, it's actually CGI. The level of detail and realism in the animation is truly impressive. We always have to be very vigilant and conscious of our surroundings, no matter how comfortable the atmosphere is. Take a look at this footage that was taken in Australia. A family spent the weekend at a beach house. One night, they were out by the sea taking pictures and goofing around. The mother was recording videos of her two kids. You can see the little boy running around all happy, which reminds me of the good old days. Sorry, I digressed. Now, in this clip here, the little girl is making silly faces at the camera. Everything seems normal until the family reviews the footage and notices something chilling. There behind the little girl is a pale creature crouched on all fours. They hadn't even noticed or sensed anything was off that day. The only evidence of this creature being there was captured in the footage. The creature's appearance is eerie and unsettling, with its pale, almost translucent skin and elongated limbs. The family was shocked and terrified when they discovered this in their video. This sighting has sparked a lot of speculation. Some suggest it might be a cryptid like the infamous rake, while others think it could be a hoax. However, given the family's genuine reaction and the fact that they didn't notice the creature at the time, it's hard to dismiss this as mere fabrication. Could this be evidence of a mysterious creature lurking near the beach house, or is this family trying to mislead us for their 5 minutes of fame? Share your thoughts. Take a look at this fascinating water phenomenon, and yes, those are ice spheres floating on the water.
Oh, icy right here?
At first glance, these ice balls might seem like they were crafted and placed there intentionally, but they are in fact naturally formed. These ice spheres are created by the movement of water currents. As the water moves, it shapes the ice into smooth round balls. This mesmerizing natural process showcases the incredible and often unexpected ways in which nature operates. Isn't it amazing how nature can create such perfectly shaped ice spheres without any human intervention? Have you seen these or touched them before? Care to share your experience?
Icy right here?
Stepping away from nature, let's move on to something man-made, a lifelike robot that doubles as a waitress at a hotspot restaurant in China. If not for her robotic movements, it would be hard to tell if this is a human or a machine. At this point, I don't know if I should feel excited about this technological marvel or freaked out by how realistic it is. Just watch her. She serves food gracefully for a machine and even picks up a paper and pen for someone. It's both fascinating and a little eerie to see how far robotics have come. What are your thoughts on this invention? Is it a step forward in technological innovation, or does it bring up concerns about the future of human interaction and employment? Let us know what you think. Back in 2023, a NASA satellite captured something extraordinary, a dark, long mass attaching itself to the sun. Now, we all know that the sun is a massive ball of fire of energy, so this sight is quite intriguing. Some people believe this dark mass is some sort of alien technology, perhaps a device that's sucking energy from the sun. The idea of aliens harvesting solar energy sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? However, the Julius kind had a different take. One commented on this. A solar tornado is a phenomenon where solar material gets twisted into a tornado-like shape by the sun's magnetic fields. It's a natural event, but still incredibly fascinating to watch. The forces at play on the sun are immense, creating these dramatic and powerful structures. So what do you think? Is this dark mass an alien energy siphoning device, or just a natural solar phenomenon? Researchers were out exploring a cave in Mexico when they stumbled upon something extraordinary. They discovered the remains of a dog-like creature, but this wasn't your typical dog. Its jaws were lined with sharp teeth, and it had 4 legs, looking quite fierce even in its skeletal form. Now here's where things get really interesting. Some people believe these remains could belong to the legendary chupacabra, a cryptid from Mexican folklore. The chupacabra is often described as a blood-sucking creature that preys on livestock, and sightings have been reported for years, though evidence has always been elusive. Initial examinations showed that while this creature had some canine features, there were significant differences. The teeth were sharper and more pointed, ideal for tearing flesh, and the bones showed signs of a creature that had a powerful build. So what do you think? Could this really be the remains of the legendary chupacabra, or is there another explanation for this strange discovery? Some believe that aliens are already living among us, despite the government not giving us enough proof and mostly debunking all the claims. A couple recently shared some intriguing footage that has fueled this speculation further.
Aliens.
Look! What?
In the video, a strange light appears in the night sky, significantly brighter and larger than any star. What's even more puzzling is how the light seems to glitch, flickering erratically. Moments later, another similar light materializes above it, and the first one vanishes almost as if they're playing a game of hide-and-seek in the sky. The couple who captured this footage is convinced that these lights are extraterrestrial. But what do you think? Could this be a mere weather phenomenon or something more mundane like a drone or a satellite? Or is it possible that they are indeed signs of alien presence, as the couple believes? Share your thoughts.
Is there something behind you?
I live in Oakville, Tennessee, which is right outside of Jackson, and this is going all the way around my neighbor's house. It's almost like whatever this was jumped from my backyard over my fucking house and then just disappeared. The size of my footprint.
A TikTok user named Jessica shared some scary footage on TikTok. She had just gotten home from a late-night shift when she noticed some strange prints along her home. These were no ordinary prints. They were long and had 2 claw-like marks and hoof marks, making them look very odd and unsettling. The prints were significantly larger than her feet, leaving her wondering what could have made them. Well, she didn't have to wonder as long as whatever was responsible for the prints showed itself, but only for a few seconds because it escaped from her home. From her account, it didn't look like any creature she'd ever seen, and judging by the prints she saw, she didn't have to even mention it. We can tell. They don't resemble those of bears or wolves. The whole thing freaked and shook her up. She's brave to keep living there, though, and by herself as well, especially while working night shifts. Now, I turn my sights on you guys. What creature do you think could be responsible for this whole saga? Could it be an unknown animal, something supernatural, or perhaps even a prank? Share your thoughts.
Oakville, Tennessee, which is right outside of Jackson, and this is going all the way around my neighbor's house. It's almost like whatever this was jumped from my backyard over my fucking house and then just disappeared. The size of my footprint. Y'all see this? The size of my fucking footprint. There ain't no damn bird that damn big.
Under the canopy of a lush green bamboo grove, 2 pandas sit huddled together, their eyes locked on the succulent apples resting in their paws. With mouths watering, they sink their sharp teeth into the juicy fruit, emitting a loud, crunching sound that echoes through the tranquil forest. Their faces, adorned with black rings around their eyes, light up with pure satisfaction. These adorable creatures radiate pure joy with every bite, as if nothing else in the world matters. The sheer bliss on their faces is infectious. A man went out hiking. He didn't say where, but it's said that the area is very famous for a lot of Bigfoot sightings. As he was hiking, he noticed something walking among the trees ahead of him. It was a huge bipedal creature moving between the trees. He quickly took out his phone and started recording. The creature seemed unaware of his presence, or maybe it just didn't care. Its movements were deliberate and powerful, pushing through the underbrush with ease. The man tried to get a closer look, moving as quietly as he could. Through the trees, he could see the creature's dark, shaggy fur and its massive frame. It stood at least 7 feet tall, with broad shoulders and long, muscular arms. The video was grainy and the creature was partially obscured by the trees, but there was no denying that this was a Bigfoot. What say you? In Southern California, an unusual sighting in the night sky caused quite a stir.
It's getting big. Oh my god.
But there's two lights up there. Holy shit.
What is that? Oh my god, look at the design. What does it mean?
Captured on camera, a strange patch of what looked like white smoke appeared with two glowing orbs embedded within it. The phenomenon was witnessed by many residents, causing widespread concern. Some people thought it was an alien visitation, while others proposed more fantastical ideas, such as a portal to another dimension or something scraping against the supposed firmament above us. There were even theories that the sky above us was an ocean, and that was what we are seeing. However, one commenter provided a more grounded explanation, mentioning that this could be linked to Vandenberg Air Force Base. Upon further investigation, it was confirmed that SpaceX had launched a satellite using a rocket from the Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. The launch, which many people were unaware of, created a spectacular visual in the sky that could easily be mistaken for something otherworldly. Given the current climate of UFO sightings and extraterrestrial theories, it's understandable that many people were quick to jump to conclusions. The sight certainly looked unnatural and otherworldly, almost like something out of a sci-fi movie. What are your thoughts as well when you saw the clip?
Oh my god.
But there's two lights up there. Holy shit.
What is that? Oh my god, look at the design. What does it mean?
Really big. Anyway, it's pretty cool. What the hell? No. No.
A truck driver, captivated by the beauty of the full moon one evening, decided to take a video of it for his son while driving. As he was focusing on capturing the perfect shot, something unexpected happened. His truck suddenly bumped into something, causing him to panic and stop the vehicle. Alarmed, he checked the vehicle's camera and saw the figure of a person standing on the road. Given where they were, this was odd, but he still got out to inspect and make sure the person was fine. But here's the thing, no one was there.
Nothing there.
Everyone who heard the incident with him was puzzled, as no one could explain the mysterious figure on the camera as well as the impact felt. If you know anything about the paranormal community, it's that they won't disappoint when it comes to associating this with an otherworldly being. Most believed he had indeed encountered and bumped into something beyond our plane. They just couldn't put their finger on what exactly. What do you guys think?
Big. Anyway, it's pretty cool. What the hell? No. Nothing there.
Incredible.
Late one night, while driving home, a man saw something on the side of the road that made his heart skip a beat. There, illuminated by his headlights, was a woman dressed in white. Her head was bowed, causing her long dark hair to fall like a curtain over her face. Her hands were clasped in front of her, adding to the eeriness of the scene. As he drove by, the woman did not move. She didn't even glance at the car passing by. It was as if she was frozen in time. The sight sent chills down his spine. Who or what was she? Was she some sort of entity, a ghostly apparition, or just a random woman standing by the roadside? But then why would anyone stand at the side of the road in the middle of the night, especially in such an unsettling manner? He kept glancing in his rearview mirror, half expecting her to suddenly appear closer or to start following his car, but she remained still, a solitary figure in the darkness. Who do you think she is? Still on hauntings, dolls are one of the things that can easily be possessed. In this footage, a man visits a doll shop filled with vintage dolls. These aren't brand new, they have an eerie, old-fashioned look to them. He brought along a heat vision camera to scan the whole place. When the camera was pointed at him and his friend, they both appeared with an orange color indicating heat and essentially life. As they scanned the dolls, none showed any signs of heat, except for one. This particular doll appeared to have the same orange heat signature as the living people in the room. Dolls are lifeless, so how is this possible? Possession. The idea of a possessed doll is not something new. Many stories and legends speak of dolls harboring spirits or entities. They're believed to be an easy vessel for spirits to inhabit due to their human-like appearance. The heat signature could indicate some form of energy or presence within the doll, which aligns with tales of possession. Is it possible that a spirit or entity has taken residence in this doll, giving it an inexplicable warmth, or is there a more mundane explanation we're overlooking? Have you ever seen a fish with wings? Just look at this marvelous creature. This is the bluefin gurnard, and it truly lives up to its name. The bluefin gurnard is a stunning fish, known for its vibrant blue pectoral fins that resemble wings. When it spreads them out, it looks like it could almost take flight. These fins aren't just for show, either. They're used to scare off predators and to navigate the sandy seafloor in search of food. It's like nature decided to mix a bit of the sea and sky in one amazing animal. What's even more interesting is how these fish move. They don't just swim like other fish, they use their wing-like fins to walk along the ocean floor. They extend these fins outward and use them to probe the sand, uncovering small crustaceans and other tasty morsels to eat. It's a bit like having a built-in metal detector, except instead of finding treasure, they find their dinner. Our next footage was taken in Berlin. There was this strange light in the sky with an odd shape and glow, almost as if it was emanating from a craft hidden behind the clouds or something invisible. The light had an eerie, otherworldly quality to it. Some believe this could be the case of those cloaked UFOs, hidden from our view but occasionally revealing themselves through such phenomenon. Others speculate that there might be a UFO behind the clouds, using some advanced technology to remain concealed. But what's your take on this mysterious light in the Berlin sky? Is it a cloaked UFO, an advanced military craft, or something else entirely? This footage was taken back in 2021 in Russia by some guys who were taking a walk after sundown. In the sky was this comet-looking light that seemed to be approaching the ground. As the comet-like object got closer, they heard a loud noise and then its shape changed dramatically. It now looked like a jellyfish, with the trail behind it becoming coiled and the head part expanding into what appeared to be thick white smoke of some sort. No one knows what this could have been, whether it was some sort of light display, An explosion, or even something alien-related remains a mystery. On second thought, if that was a light display, people would have known about it because they would have been told. So if it's neither of these, could it have been a rocket launch where the changing shape and bright trails were caused by the stages of the rocket burning off? Seems plausible, but they would have known if there was a rocket launch nearby. Maybe it was just a meteor breaking up upon entering Earth's atmosphere, causing the loud noise and the spectacular light show. Julius is skeptical about this as well. I'm out of ideas. What do you think this is? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments. Moving on to an innovation in our own timeline, we turn our attention to Serbia, where liquid trees have become a wonder. Yes, you heard that right, liquid trees. In a remarkable step towards combating urban air pollution, Dr. Ivan Spasajek from Serbia has introduced an innovative solution known as the liquid tree. This groundbreaking project, launched in Belgrade, one of Serbia's most polluted cities, aims to tackle the pressing issues of air quality. The liquid tree is essentially a bioreactor that uses water and microalgae to mimic the natural process of photosynthesis. These microalgae absorb carbon dioxide and heavy metals from the air, effectively reducing pollution and producing oxygen. This liquid tree innovation offers more than just environmental benefits. Designed with urban functionality in mind, these installations feature benches, USB chargers, and nightlights, making them not only eco-friendly but also practical additions to public spaces. Just imagine walking through a bustling city and finding a spot where you can sit, charge your devices, and breathe in cleaner air. These features make the liquid trees a multifunctional asset, enhancing the quality of urban life while actively working to improve air quality. While this sounds futuristic and amazing, someone in the comments section asked a profound question. What's wrong with normal trees? I did some research and found that while traditional trees are invaluable for the environmental, offering shade, cooling temperatures, absorbing carbon dioxide, and releasing oxygen, there are scenarios where planting them is challenging. Urban areas, for example, often grapple with space limitations, poor soil quality, and other factors that hinder tree growth. Liquid trees are designed not to replace, but to complement normal trees. They serve as an additional tool to help tackle air pollution and climate change, especially in environments where traditional tree planting is impractical. Cool, huh? Some things in life just cannot be explained. This woman was seen by a body of water pressing down on something. You'd never guess what it was unless you saw it for yourself. She was performing chest compressions on a fish. Yeah, you heard that right. CPR on a fish. I think she found the fish stranded on the sand, not far from the water's edge. Instead of just tossing the fish back into the sea, this woman decided to try and revive it using CPR. It's quite the sight to see someone giving life-saving compressions to a fish, but her intentions were undoubtedly pure. Who's going to tell her that fish don't exactly benefit from CPR? It's one of those moments where you can't help but admire her dedication and hope, even if the method is unconventional. There are a lot of creatures that stem from ancient mythology and even stories. One such creature is the griffin. The griffin is a four-legged creature with the body of a lion and the head of a bird. The individual who uploaded this footage believes this is a griffin, but this creature's body doesn't exactly look like a lion, but it does have four legs and a bird-like head. It looks somewhat real, but I'm tempted to lean more on the possibility of it being an AI creation. Even so, I can't help but wonder if there could be some truth to their existence. The griffin has always been a part of mythology for centuries, originating in ancient civilizations such as Mesopotamia, Greece, and Egypt. It was often depicted as a powerful and majestic creature, symbolizing strength and protection. That leaves me wondering, did someone actually see one, or was it imagined and passed down? Share your thoughts. We all thought that electric cars were a significant upgrade from traditional manual vehicles, a leap forward in our quest for cleaner transportation. However, recent findings suggest that this upgrade might come with its own set of problems. Research has uncovered that lithium-ion batteries, which power these electric vehicles, can release harmful chemicals into the environment. These rechargeable lithium-ion batteries contain PFAS chemicals, often referred to as forever chemicals. These substances are notorious for their persistence. They don't break down over time and accumulate in the environment. This accumulation poses serious health risks, adding a new layer of concern to the environmental impact of electric vehicles. PFAS chemicals have been linked to various health issues, including increased risks of cardiovascular problems. As these chemicals leach into the soil and water from deteriorating or improperly disposed of batteries, they can contribute to broader public health concerns. The persistence of PFAS means that their effects could be long-lasting and widespread, making it a significant challenge to manage and mitigate their impact. We all know that the most haunted places are those associated with death and tragedy. It seems like ghosts and entities just thrive in such areas. In this footage, a man is driving by a cemetery when he notices something chilling. There's a woman in a white robe walking through the graveyard. Her head is bent down, and her long black hair covers her face as she moves silently among the tombstones. Given the lore and stories surrounding graveyards and ghosts, this site raises many questions. Could this be an actual ghost, a restless spirit wandering the cemetery, or is it simply a woman walking through the graveyard for reasons unknown? The eerie atmosphere of the cemetery, combined with the sight of this mysterious figure, creates an unsettling scene. The idea of a ghostly apparition in such a place is not far-fetched, considering the countless tales of hauntings and paranormal activity linked to graveyards. But what do you think she is, human or ghost? Julius thinks she was edited and placed in there, but still, I would love to hear your thoughts. Take a look at this security footage that was taken at a parking lot filled with tricycles. As you can see, a man was walking by when all of a sudden, one of the tricycles just moved backwards and crashed into a man who was sitting in a chair. The man sitting was unaware of the tricycle's sudden movement, and the one walking by turned in shock to look at the whole situation. There was no one in the tricycle, and they are manually operated. So what happened here? The footage shows the tricycle moving with an unexpected jolt as if propelled by an invisible force. The randomness and suddenness of the movement leaves us wondering if this could be more than just a simple mechanical failure. The tricycle's movement is eerily smooth and deliberate, almost as if someone or something unseen is controlling it. Someone shared this footage of a four-legged creature walking through the woods. It looks like a horse, but it's made of what appears to be roots or something similarly unusual. The movements are fluid and lifelike, yet the creature's composition is bizarre and unsettling. This could very well be an AI creation, given the incredible advancements in technology and visual effects. However, with all the strange phenomena and sightings reported lately, it's difficult to rule anything out as fake or AI generated. The internet has been buzzing with various theories. Some people believe it's a mythical forest spirit captured on camera, while others think it might be a hoax meant to deceive those who like to believe in the paranormal. What do you think? You know the glitches we keep mentioning on this channel that Julius and his disciples have refused to accept could really exist? Well, our next clip features a lady who has allegedly had multiple throughout her life. Let's take a look.
Grandma has very prominent blue eyes, like crystal clear. It's a very prominent feature about my grandma that she has very blue, piercing crystal blue eyes. So this Monday, she picks me up. We go to Wendy's. We're sitting in the glass area. If you know Wendy's back then you know what I'm talking about. We're sitting there eating our fries, and I look up at my grandma, and my grandma has brown eyes. They're brown. And so naturally, I was like, Grandma, your eyes are brown. And she was like, yeah, Lauren, I have brown eyes. I was like, Grandma, no, you don't. You have very blue eyes. What do you mean? You have blue eyes. And she was like, no, Lauren, I have brown eyes.
She first talks about her experience in 4th and 5th grade when her grandma used to pick her up. She then talks about how she and her grandma used to go to Wendy's to have a great time. According to her, on one of their days out, her grandma, who was blue eyes, suddenly had brown eyes. She draws her grandma's attention to it, and her grandma tells her that no, she has always had brown and not blue eyes. She goes home, and her mom also tells her the same. At that point, she's very sure something's off, but she forgets it and moves on. 3 days later, her grandma suddenly has blue eyes again. She goes to her grandma and tells her that her eyes are blue, again to which her grandma responds, well, I've always had blue eyes. She states that despite her numerous attempts to remind her grandma that her eyes were once brown, nothing comes of them. She also insists she's not crazy and was not dreaming. Naturally, individuals in the comments section were divided. Some stood with her, while some thought she had a hyperactive imagination. One person did mention something profound, though. According to him, she might have shifted timelines. The funny thing is, there are some in the comments section who believe they have done the same. So what do you guys think? Are we glitching into different timelines instead of different realities? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section.
After school. I didn't make that shit up. Like, that was reality. I didn't miss a day. Like, this happened. Has anybody else ever experienced anything like that?
Left tail. What is this fish? What is that?
That is not no fish.
What do you think that is? Believe it or not, this clip was my first time seeing anything like this. Without wanting to go to Julius, I checked the comments section of the original post and saw this. I'm not sure why, for a second, I actually believed that this could indeed be an armadillo ratfish. I mean, the name sort of fits the description, but I should have known better. Luckily for me, Julius showed up with the right name and description as usual. This is actually the Atlantic midshipman toadfish, aka Porichythes plectrodon. It's a fascinating marine species known for its bioluminescent properties and distinctive vocalizations. Found in the western Atlantic Ocean, particularly along the coast of the southeastern United States, this toadfish inhabits sandy and muddy bottoms in shallow coastal waters. It's characterized by its broad, flattened head and a body covered with small, embedded scales. The species is named for the rows of bioluminescent organs along its body, resembling the buttons on a naval midshipman's uniform. These fish are nocturnal and use their light-emitting organs to attract prey and communicate with potential mates. Now you have to understand, that it's very unusual to see Atlantic midshipman toadfish during the day or above water. These species are primarily nocturnal and tend to hide in burrows or under rocks during daylight hours to avoid predators. Seeing one like this is unusual and could be due to circumstances such as being disturbed from their hiding places, environmental stress, or even disorientation. The one we see in the clip appears to be upside down, which might point to stress and disorientation. But then again, that's an amateur observation from me. What say you?
What is this fish? What is
That is not no fish.
It's finally meet you, Reggie. Thanks for reaching out. To what do I owe the pleasure of your presence?
I assure you the pleasure is all mine, Alvar. You have been watched for many, many years and many lifetimes. It's with great pride that I come to you and I offer a settlement for humankind.
In this unsettling conversation, a man claims to speak with an ancient Sumerian Anunnaki deity named Enki. According to Enki, she and her sister hybridized humans, combining their genetics of nomads with that of beings from their home planet Nibiru. The purpose? Humans were designed as workers to mine gold on Earth, which would then be taken back to Nibiru to repair their damaged atmosphere. Enki goes on to say that her kind no longer holds control over humanity, having lost it about 450,000 years ago. This conversation dives into an unusual and thought-provoking story, blending elements of human origins, ancient civilization, and extraterrestrial intervention. What do you think of this bizarre and intriguing dialogue? Could there be more to it than meets the eye?
I was asked to leave. I was asked to leave by Creator of all because, as my brother would say, I meddle. And when I say that, I don't mean distressfully. I was trying to help. It seemed more I helped and more I didn't.
Look, I just want to stop you there because I don't want you to just make public excuses for all the stunts you pull.
And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I will see you in the next one.